Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to the 2021 Map of the Year series with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very, very welcome. Well, this year we're going to use the exact same format as I did for last year, which is I have chosen my personal top 12 maps of the last 12 months, split across 6 different categories over the next 6 days. Each day there'll be an outright winner and a runner-up, and on Saturday, New Year's Day, we will have the final, the map of the year, my outright winner and a notable runner-up in that maps category. Now, today we're looking at rivers. In theory though, many maps have rivers, and so you could argue that maybe there might be a better river map, but for me these 2 maps today were built on the rivers. They are all about the rivers. In fact, both maps have river in the title. Not that that's the final decider. Today's first map is Virgin River by DeaconPmp. DeaconPmp, DeaconPmp. A map that we reviewed in episode 1398, which got 5 stars for aesthetics, 4 for detail, and 5 for gameplay potential. It requires mass transit, park life, and industries DLC, as well as, sit down people, 151 subscriptions off of the workshop. Now, the total number of subscriptions isn't a reason not to be map of the year. If those items are used exceptionally, then it's an exceptional map. There's no argument. And so that's not the reason why we are not the winner today. We're using the Virgin River Green theme mix, which incorporates Sunny Coast, Coos Bay, and the relight to Lush Lut. There are a couple of little problems with it now that weren't there that weren't there earlier. Weren't there later, dearie me, when am I recording this? Those are in the theme mix. The ruined, the gravel, and the water textures for some reason are not loading for me at the moment. On top of that, I have 5 assets which aren't loading in as well, which are the fallen pines, the terrain conforming swamp grasses, and the dry mountain grasses. The loading screen mod tells me that this is because it's possible that the creators, those being Greyflame and Pidelmo, may have changed the name of the assets on those too. But even with those missing 5 assets and the missing textures, this map still absolutely shines. If you're looking for a realistic looking real river map, and this would fit all of those, including this little feature area here, a really excellent national park location if you're looking to do something like that. Deacon has absolutely shone with this one, but while I was having trouble choosing between this one and my outright winner for the maps category, the final nail in terms of going for the other map was the minor problems that we've got with a couple of missing assets and textures. But they are minor, and it's nothing that would stop me from actually wanting to play this map personally. So anyway, Virgin River, that's my runner-up in the categories for River for this year. Deacon, you can be proud of your work. This is exceptional and I love it. But there has to be an outright winner, and this one, well, I popped it into the rivers category because it is all about the rivers, but I could see an argument for this being a fantasy map as well. We will have a fantasy map category later on in the week, so if you're looking for a fantasy map, there are maps that are more fantastical than this one, and I can see why many map players would not want to play this map and would rather play Deacon's map, and I wouldn't argue against that. So if you feel that I've made the wrong decision, listen, this final 12 has been the toughest final 12 to choose between. There's only a couple in that final 12 that weren't even up for consideration for being the outright Saturday winner. This one was one of those that I had to give serious consideration to for being an outright winner. It's River Maze by Sidai. Now, yes, Sidai. That name keeps cropping up time and time again, and there are multiple reasons for it. Mostly, they're an outstanding map maker. They know how to build a clean map, A crisp map, a clear map, a well-designed map with believable terrain, well designed in terms of aesthetics, in terms of top-down view, in terms of a layout for building a city, and in terms of how best to utilize City Skylines' limited build space to its maximum. They are an outstanding map maker. Now, being an outstanding map maker doesn't mean that your map is going to be map of the year. And this one is, for me, the best river map of the year, regardless of who it was made by. The top-down view of the rivers are just absolutely beautiful. They just wind everywhere while still feeling, in a fantasy form, realistic. I mean, there's no completely unbelievable part of the map. It was originally reviewed in episode 1227, where I gave it 5 for aesthetics, 4 for detail, and 5 for gameplay potential. It's a map that requires no DLC at all, and requires 21 subscriptions off of the workshop, which include the Italian coast theme and the coastal LUT. And it's those two things that give this map its real clean, crisp, believable, bright poppy, even poppy. The whole thing just pops. Look at the tree painting along the side of these rivers here. It's just enough. Doesn't go to the next level, doesn't want to. It would be overkill, I think, if we tried to make this into a real tree heavy map, and we don't want that one. And even the tree painting up into the mountains, again, feels about right. We've managed to avoid the cliff faces, and we've got a real nice tree mix going on as well. Well, I mean, this map, it was just outstanding from the off. But whether I could actually get it down in my original long list of about 20, I think it was 23 maps, my original long list of maps for map of the year. And there was a lot, and I am explaining a little bit of the background detail here of my thought process. A lot of the decision making wasn't just me trying to find the absolute best map, which I think a lot of you are going to disagree with me this year. And that's fine. It's fine. I have my reasons for choosing the map that I've gone with for Saturday. But I think a lot of you who are visually focused, like you'll be looking at this map going, but the previous map looked more beautiful. And I would probably agree with you. Although both got 5 stars for aesthetics, they're 5 stars in different ways. This one is striking in one way, and Deacon's map is striking in another. And this one is more of a fantasy style map, and we have got a fantasy category coming up later in the week for those of you that want that. It is visually stunning, visually striking. My outright winner at the end of the week, end of the month as well, beginning of next month, it's New Year's Day, is less visually striking than the 2 maps you've seen today, but it wins by virtue of being the best of its category I have ever seen. It lives in a category which is notoriously difficult to do exceptionally well. Making a beautiful river map like this, fantastical map like this one, or a realistic map like Deacon produced previously, well, I mean, they're notoriously difficult as well. But there are multitudes of exceptional river maps. There are multitudes, well, certainly dozens upon dozens of exceptional fantasy style maps. But the category that I've gone with for my outright winner, there are multitudes of examples on the workshop, but so few exceptional ones that it stands out for me as being the best ever within its category. And you can't really argue too much against the aesthetics, which I think is where a lot of you are going to go, oh no, come on, this is a little bit bland and a little bit boring. It might be a little bit bland and a little bit boring, but do you know what? It is absolutely on point for what it needed to be. Like this map here, I feel it's a little bit striking for my personal taste, but I'm not choosing on personal. This is my personal opinion that this is the best river map, but that is based upon a whole lot more than the things that I don't like. Like, I just find it very, very bright. I don't like bright. I live in the UK. It's raining outside today. I don't like bright. I'm not a big fan of snowfall maps. I think a desert map, a good desert map, is an exceptional desert map, but it's not something that I'd ever really want to play personally. There are a whole ream of personal biases that we all have, and I personally, I think maybe I prefer the previous map, the Virgin River Valley. Virgin River Valley. Virgin River. I think I personally, but I'm thinking, is that because it uses the same theme, the same kind of aesthetics as I used on the map that I built this year? And maybe that's the reason. Oh, by the way, there's a lovely castle on the left as we're coming up now. We're not going to see this properly. If you actually want to see this map or the previous map, the links to the original reviews are in the description. Please do go check them out, because we'll be looking in those reviews in a lot more glorious detail at the feature areas, because there are some glorious. These are the best. These are the best maps. So do go and check out the feature work, the detail work on those maps, or even better still, just subscribe to the maps. Just dive straight in and have a little look round and see how the incredible brain that is Sidai's brain comes up with something that is gloriously technical. And that's the thing again with one of the reasons why I've gone with this one, is it is gloriously technical. The previous map is, in terms of work, in terms of the actual technicality, it is also exceptional and gloriously technical. But this one, trying to come up with a believable fantasy map with the highest of standards, well, that was something that, again, the late great Icania gloriously missed. It's over a year now, blimey. They were the outstanding creator of this genre of map. But Sidai has basically looked and gone, yep, we can do that. We can do that. Not claiming to be the new Icania, and ever we could never do that. But we can take inspiration from their work and roll with it. And that's also something, if you're a map maker and you really want to improve on your own work, find a map by one of the top creators, be it a Sidai or an Icania or an anybody else that you really feel inspired by. Load up their map, have a close look at it, and then try and recreate little areas of their map and just steal from the ideas and the techniques that they've gone from, and just improve and learn from the masters, because it's the best way to improve. But River Maze from Sidai, I mean, we've done a little flyover just over the map, just to give you a bit of a feel for it today. It's one of those maps that I feel is best seen actually in game. But again, if you want to get a better look at it, again, the top-down view isn't going to be the best, because the fog kicked in. I've got the fog switched off, but the fog kicked in, so we didn't get a really good top-down view on this one. But hopefully these views that you get as we pull the camera slowly back will give you an idea of just how twisty and windy and technical the entire map is. An absolute beauty. Sidai, you are an absolute beauty. Thank you so much for what for me is the best river map of 2021. Hopefully you can improve on this next year and be map of the year. Who knows? Who knows? It's a long way off. Will we still be playing City Skylines this time next year? Or will there be a sequel? Who knows? Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. I'll be back tomorrow with part 2 of the Map of the Year series. I'm not going to tell you the category right now. You should join me for that one. But we have got all coming this week, including Vanilla and Fantasy and real life locations and much, much more. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.